I really want to emphasize the importance of strength training intensity. I've said so many times throughout this series, even on the videos that I'm not necessarily talking about it, that you need to lift with an intensity of 2 to 3 reps in reserve, which is again meaning with max effort at the end of the set, you could do 2 or 3 repetitions. And almost by definition, that should require you to rest 2 or 3 minutes in between sets. If you only need 1 minute of rest, I strongly encourage you to try to lift heavier and then see what you're able to do. There is some nuance to that. Some people do recover faster and all that kind of stuff, but um, by large, you need to be lifting in a way that requires you to need that much rest. And I think that is very, very important. I think exercise intensity for running performance, for strength gains, for hypertrophy gains is more important than virtually any other aspect of it. Like the number of exercises you do, the number of sets of exercise per exercise you do, the specific exercise selection, all that kind of stuff, it is important. It absolutely is important. But if you're just not lifting heavy enough, it's just not going to matter. I would so much rather my running clients do appropriately loaded leg extensions, leg curls, and seated hip abduction. Three kind of basic gym exercises. I would much rather them do those kind of exercises at an appropriate intensity, opposed to doing like split squats or single leg deadlifts or things like that, which will often be looked at as more functional running specific exercises. And there's merit to that argument for sure. But if they're not loaded appropriately, if your technique is not great, which it probably isn't because you're a runner, you're not accustomed to strength training as much. If your technique isn't good, your balance isn't good, you're performing these exercises in a way that's not appropriate to elicit strength gains, that's not what you want. You can be working on those exercises from a technique and mobility and like balance standpoint, but they shouldn't be used to gauge your intensity or for your intense exercises. You should be doing exercises that you're able to do with that 2 to 3 reps in reserve that require you to rest 2 to 3 minutes in between sets. So this is the main video that I'm using to wrap up this series. I just really want to emphasize intensity more than anything. It is by far and away the most important variable, and it's the one that makes all the other variables fall in place. It's the variable that makes it so you should be lifting in that 4 to 8 rep range. It's the variable that determines that you need to rest the appropriate 2 to 3 minutes. It's the variable that determines how long your sessions should last. So the intensity, more than anything else, needs to be dialed in appropriately. And I find that everyone, but particularly runners, tend to really care a lot about exercise selection. Okay, like what exercise is going to make me a faster runner? Or what 3 exercises are the best to prevent this or whatever? And you should focus on exercise selection, but the intensity has to matter more. The intensity is what is going to improve your strength and your power and help you run faster.